Over 8,000 of our Today's Special Value have been requested today since it was made available. It is from Nuage. It's the stretch puffer coats. Let me say that again, a stretch puffer coat. Two-way stretch built into the construction of this coat makes it so that it's even more comfortable than any other puffer coat that you've probably tried before. This is a coat that was designed exclusively for you at QVC. The Today's Special Value price goes up at the end of the day. For the very first time, we are offering this in a proportion petite as well as regular. So for all of the petite gals that have been struggling with trying to find a coat that was long, but one that still fit their proportions, Nuage has taken all of that into consideration and brought together Today's Special Value with that petite offer for you. In terms of color, we start right here with the navy. This is what I had on last hour, but that navy is a beautiful, rich alternative to a black. So consider that if you already have a black puffer coat, looking for an upgrade, consider that navy. Beautiful with the exposed zipper down the front as well. We'll talk about all those details in a moment. The next color, I'm gonna move this navy so you can see the full coat. The next color is the moss. Isn't that stunning? When I first looked at this on our camera, or on my monitor, I thought, well, gosh, that almost looks like black. But then I put the black next to it so that you could see the difference between the two. The moss is a true, rich moss green, like the most heady, dark moss that you can imagine. That's a beautiful alternative, again, to black. But we know how super chic a black puffer coat can be. So here it is, and I think stunning with that removable faux fur collar in the black as well. So please ask about black. The tortoiseshell is now the most limited. Isn't this a stunning color? We have 900 in the regular and fewer than 500 remaining in the petite. So please don't wait. You'll notice with this exposed zipper that the color is gold, which really complements the warmth of that beautiful brown. So definitely consider that. And then I slipped it on in the sand just because, you know, that snow bunny look is always so popular. Keep in mind, this one again, limited 2,200 available in regular and only 800 available in petite. I also wanted to mention, as you're looking at the white, or the what we're calling sand, don't worry about it if you get a little makeup on the collar, because this coat is machine washable. So you don't have to worry about sending this to the cleaners. Every time you wear it, zip it up and you get a little makeup on the collar, not a problem. This one you're going to be able to care for yourself. So some of the other features with this is the coat is designed to be breathable. It's designed to be wind resistant, water repellent, and it's also designed to give you that wonderful kind of cold weather chic style. All of it at a price of $129.96, but that price goes up at the end of the day. And as we talked about earlier with Sandy Savelli, she is in Canada, where this company is actually based. Canada, like many of the places in the United States, know how to dress and how to create coats to keep us warm in the cold weather. So once again, a dreamy background you've got there in Canada, Sandy. It's nice to have you back with us.
Hi there, Jane. Thanks for having me. And yes, I'm in Quebec, Canada, just a little bit north of Montreal, in the most idyllic little town. It's called Saint-Sauveur, and I'm right on Lake Echo in a beautiful private chalet. And this truly is Canadiana, because Nuage truly is Canadian. A company since 1944 that specializes only in outerwear. Think about it. When you're the specialist, you know what you're doing. We've been here at QVC since 2018, and we've listened to you. We've delivered. We've promised, and we've delivered. And we have this TSV, which in my opinion is kind of the Goldilocks of coats. You know, Jane, when you try this chair, it's not right. You try that chair, it's not right. But you finally try the final thing, and it checks all the boxes. Why? Because I love the features. The number one feature to me is the stretch. The stretch is phenomenal. You have 90% poly, 10% spandex in a fabrication that's totally washable. We have the fill that we'll explain in a bit that is our Arctic warmth. You're going to be cozy and comfy and warm, but not overheated.
Well, I don't know that I would disagree with you in terms of the stretch being the #1 feature, but as I'm looking at Kylene right now I'm thinking the #1 feature is how sharp she looks in this coat. She took that hood off, Sandy, and it looks like a completely different coat. Dressed to the nines with a faux fur hat and a fabulous bag from Dooney, which will be coming up a little bit later on, and she is ready to take on the town. So I think that's the other thing that we love about our final coat, today's special value of the year, is that it offers us that versatility. It can be that stadium coat when you really need something to protect you and block the wind, or it can be that fashion statement when you're taking on the town. A 555-756 or I'm sorry, 555-761. Let me make sure I get those numbers right. And as we do this, I want to go ahead and talk about the colors one more time. If you're just joining us, welcome in. Our today's special value is the final coat, today's special value for the year. And the hard thing is, like right now, we're having a little mini heat wave in the Philadelphia area. So you're thinking, oh gosh, you know, I don't need to worry about a coat. Well, yeah, that's the problem. We get lulled into what's happening in the part of the country that we're in right this moment, and then forget that the cold, biting winds and that sleet and snowy rain and weather that's on its way will be here before we know it. Are we prepared? Do we have the things that will not stop us from being outside and enjoying the different events that we have coming up, but also doing it in a way that is very fashionable? So here is the sand that I slipped into. 2,200 available in the regular, 800 in Petite. Here is the tortoiseshell, fewer than 900 in the regular, fewer than 500 in Petite. Next up is your black, so sophisticated. This has been the most popular in our show, most popular today, with that gorgeous black faux fur hood. It's stunning. And again, if you just want to keep it simple, you can always go with the black. And then the other two are great alternatives to black. I know that the moss has been very popular, and I'd encourage you not to wait until the end of the day. We have 2,500 regular in moss and about 1,100 in the Petite. And then we work our way over to the navy, which is what I had on last hour. And that, again, is a beautiful, rich cadet navy with the black faux fur trim. So, Sandy, I want to go through all of the features. I also want to offer that I'm wearing it in the large, which is the regular, I would say my regular QVC coat size. I want my coat to be generous. I want there to be lots of room so I can layer underneath. So the large, I'm 5'9½", and it gives me really nice full fingertip length coverage. So just wanted to put that out there. But walk us through the rest of the details. There's so many things to talk about with this coat.
Yes. So many things, and Nuage has brought you everything. This is a beautiful stand collar. When you do the zipper up, it's going to protect your neck from the chilly wind. Underneath the zipper is a placket that serves a couple purposes. One of them being that it protects the zipper from ever catching on the other side of the zipper or fabric on the other side. And that's very smart because that's happened to all of us, right? Also, the placket protects from wind whooshing through the zipper, because that can happen because a zipper is rather open, right? It's just teeth put together. So the placket is going to keep you toasty. You have the dual zipper on the bottom, which is so wonderful because you're going to be undoing it to give yourself more freedom of movement when you're sitting, driving, playing with the kids outside. And the side grommet at the side, which is zippered as well, is going to do the same thing. The pockets are glorious. Honestly, Jane, you put your hand in there, you have that micro fleece inside. You just kind of want to invite your hand to go in there. By the way, it's nice and roomy. For me, it's phone, eyeglasses, Kleenex, and keys.
And
Okay?
zip it up, and then you don't have to take a jacket, a bag or anything with you on a quick trip into the store, or if you've got, you know, to run into the school for the kids to drop something off. You don't need the whole handbag. You just put the essentials in there, zip them so that they stay secure.
That's right. And then you have this beautiful styling of the quilting that we've given you. It's a fool the eye method to give you a waist, because what we've done is we've taken the quilting 1 inch apart in the waistline area to almost give this little corset look. But what I'd love to do now is address the fact that we have created the petite proportions for the first time ever with Nuage here at QVC. So most petite items, they just hem up the. Oh, maybe I'll look at the fabrication first. So you have the breathability of the beautiful Arctic Warmth by Techno Fill. That's our fill that stretches as well. The top layer has a waterproof membrane that's been fused to the top layer of the coat, and that's going to keep out the dampness and the wet. Everything stretches, even our fill, which is quite unusual because, down doesn't stretch. This is the Arctic Warmth that stretches and keeps you warm and cozy, but not overheated. But getting back to the petite, I want all the petite ladies out there to know that we not only have raised the length 2 inches, we've taken 1 inch off the bottom of the sleeves, and we've also taken 1 inch off the waistline.
It's now, proportion petite, so just
in proportion.
Yeah, and that's the way a petite actually should be done. So we've done that in this coat as well for the very first time. It's not like you can just walk in any department store and say, where are the petite coats? I wanted to, so this is one that, again, is allowing you to get that petite proportion. This is the sand. Here is your tortoise shell. Next up is the black. We have it in this gorgeous moss. And then last but not least, we have it in the navy, which could be team color for a lot of teams. If you're planning on heading out to the football games, soccer matches, lacrosse, whatever it may be, you've got that coat to work back to team color. And the convenience of 2 looks for $129 and change in our final coat, today's special value of the year, Sandy, because that collar can come completely off.
Yes, the hood comes off and it gives it a more sophisticated, streamlined look for when you want to go, out in the evening, or maybe a career look, or maybe a dressed up look with an actual dress or skirt. So it really is so versatile. I love the way our stylists have styled it this time, especially showing you can wear it with a nice dress. Maybe you have the kind of job where you are seen more in your outerwear than anything else. Maybe you're in sales or in real estate sales, or you go in and out of offices a lot. And so you want that polished, really nice, successful look. This is it. But at the same time, put the hood back on and enjoy your kids and grandkids on the weekends, playing outside in the snow, walking the dog, going to those football games, tailgate parties. Enjoy.
Well, let's talk about the technology too in this puffer coat, because we mentioned that it is waterproof. It is going to be breathable. It's machine washable, but there's also special insulators built into the fill. So I'd love to talk about that. I also want to mention that the gloves that we saw earlier are also available. Information is on your screen. So if you want the insulated mittens, then you can ask about those as well. But Sandy, talk to us about this proprietary system here in the coat.
Yes, Arctic Warmth by Techno Fill is our very special fill that we've worked many, many years on in order to accommodate the stretch fabrication, because down does not stretch. So this fill is going to keep you cozy and warm, but also it is breathable. So it's not going to overheat you, Jane, because the worst thing is to have a coat on that keeps you warm, but then you start sweating in the back. That's not a good thing, right? Because then what happens is you get a chill. This protects you also from dampness. So if you're outside in a damp situation, maybe even a cold arena, or you've gone ice skating or something, and certainly at football games, lacrosse games, you are going to be protected. So the fill is not overly filled. We didn't do an overly puffy coat because we want to keep this streamlined and very, very sleek. And this is exactly what we've accomplished in all sizes, extra, extra small to 5X, and all petite offerings too, which is a first.
Well, and this is our final coat, today's special value for the year. This is it. So in a couple of weeks, when we get that first blast of cold here, Sandy, and folks are clamoring